6 days away from the salary cap kind of deadline for all these teams. The Buffalo Bills are one of 8 teams that are currently still over the salary cap. A couple other teams were a little bit over, made some moves to get under. This is obviously Sal Capaccio, who covers the Buffalo Bills, calling it a historic day in the Buffalo Bills franchise. They cut a lot of our friends, AJ, but this is kind of what this season's all about.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think they had to have some kind of idea that this was coming for most of these players? Like, when you see, like, these guys are way over the cap, players aren't dumb, players understand teams have to make decisions, and teams don't like to do this, but yeah, stuff has to happen. You're over the cap, you got to find those guys. Like, you know, it sucks for guys like Jordan Poyer, obviously. I mean, these are all really good players, too. That's the other thing that people don't realize. These are going to be valuable assets to other teams.
Yeah, I think in the thought that, you know, Poyer, friend of the program.
Dog.
Leader, stud. Like,
look at him driving his feet still.
Well, just remember the stories. And I saw a tweet that was talking about his 2023 year that I thought they were talking about this most recent year. But, like, going through who Jordan is, you know, for that Buffalo Bills team and how long he was there. Remember, he and Hyde are, like, considered – these two came in together to the Buffalo Bills. They were a tag team together. Like, he'd been around there for a long, long time. Now, never mind a Super Bowl.
Yep.
So
true.
That's how people will talk about it. But you talk about he becomes all-pro Poe out there. One year he was overlooked and an underdog, had a historic season. The next year he was all-pro Poe. It's like he and Buffalo grew together, you know. So for him to be on the streets alongside the rest of the safeties that are currently in the free agency market, teams can make some moves and bring in some big names, high-profile names, and all those deals will be done by Monday is what the expectation is. But, like, bad journalism out of me and Mad Mel. We were talking to Brandon Beane.
We were.
Like, we were talking to, if we would have done any research at all going into that call.
You were talking about the draft, though.
You say, hey, how do we get under the cap? What are we going to do? Did you ask him that?
Well, Mad Mel didn't ask anything. Mad Mel talked directly at Brandon Beane for 15 straight minutes.
Yep.
He then got escorted out of there.
What?
Yeah, he got escorted out.
They kicked him out?
No, I think they just told him to wait outside. Move a little left, like when people are taking a picture, and they go, a little bit left.
Keep going.
A little bit more left.
Perfect.
That's kind of what happened with Mad Mel. They're like, can you go stand on it a little bit? And then he was just kind of hanging out. And Mad Mel had to make some calls anyways. So I got a chance to chat with Brandon Beane about a lot of things. And I didn't even think about, like, hey, who are you in a miserable fashion going to have to just, like, axe? You know, like, who's
get out?
I didn't even think to ask that question whenever you're chatting about it, because from a human standpoint, today sucks, dude, I would assume. You know what I mean? That's not a fun thing to do. And I think whenever all these things are covered and talked about, I don't think people really care necessarily that, yeah, it sucks, boo-hoo, it's the NFL wins Super Bowl. But it's like there's a lot of relationships built up there between a lot of people, you know, especially with how tight that team seemingly was and has been. I'm happy that they did it this early, you know? Like, they get another week ahead of free agency pretty much, but, like, that has to be – those are tough days, players and front office.
Yeah, think about the front office. And this is a front office, too. I feel like we've talked to many different people there. They're humans. Like, they have relationships with these players. There's some GMs and some different people that like to kind of stay, like, at an arm's length and say, I know I'm going to eventually have to cut them or move on from these people so they don't develop relationships. It feels like in Buffalo, like, they are one big family. So this could not have been easy for anybody involved.
We asked Sal about the Bison.
Yeah, I heard some of that. What is this talking point that they keep throwing out of whoever these artists are, air quotes, that if it gets too big, you're going to take away the detail. Get out of here.
Get it bigger.
No, it needs to be an absolute spectacle. They're saying, it needs to be so people can take pictures. Yeah, make the thing 100 feet tall then so people take pictures. It's like it's a monument that people drive thousands of miles to see.
World's largest buffalo.
Make it as big as the arch.
What are we even talking about here, dude?
First up.
Like, the thought that everybody's phones have the little 0.5.
Yep.
We can get a 50-foot bison into a photo.
Made for that.
Okay, we can absolutely do that. And I had the incredible honor of having the opportunity to set up Plum Community Days as a child.
Sure.
Through the soccer club.
Yep.
Whatever, Plum Soccer. Plum Area Soccer. Shout out Fred Lucas. But there was always like an ice sculptor guy that would come in, and he would like set up his thing, and then he'd do a practice run, and I would like literally get to just watch. Like I'm a kid at this point, watching this ice sculptor do his thing for like 45 minutes because it got out of me having to build a tent. Okay, because I'm just building tents around this entire field pretty much. And the amount of different chisels that he uses for different details, I was like mind blown by as a child. Like, damn, this is a very descript ice sculpt. Now it's all going to melt away.
Yeah.
This thing's all gone. It's the middle of summer. This thing's dead. But what he was doing, they're telling, just as somebody that as a child watched Sculptor up close and personal probably 7 times in my life. They can't get a bigger chisel. What do we even?
Well, here's the question, Pat.
I don't understand it. Like, well, how is that the excuse? For me, I think the headline is big ass bison. Yeah. Big ass parking spots.
Yep.
Did you hear that?
Well, great news. Great idea.
That's genius, I think. Is
that like a premium lot, though? Is that like special premium lots that you pay extra for? I mean, you should charge extra for it.
Yeah, are we really going to trust this? Like, we thought we were getting 40-foot bison. Now we think these parking spots are going to be 2x. That's going to be 10 more inches on the back end. Like, let's be real here.
Hey,
if we pull it back, yeah, absolutely, better than nothing. But stop.
I don't know if 10 inches is better. It better be a...
I'm not trusting it. Don't trust it, because what do we do with these bison? We're pissed off about
10
the
inches
bison.
is huge.
We're pissed off about the bison. Yeah, it is. I agree. We're pissed off about the bison, but
so
4.5 would help too. But I'm just saying, like,
be good enough.
We're talking about these bison being massive, and we're bummed about it. We should not buy in to these parking spots, okay?
Yes.
Because just because it's 3 massive inches on the back end doesn't mean it's actually going to be a bigger parking
You're
spot.
right. 3 massive inches.
Yeah.
3.
See, look at that.
Massively large.
Huge. 3's huge. Let me just say that, especially in the parking lot scenario and others. But like, look at that. If that's the rendering, guess what?
Look, that 110 is actually going over 2 spots, and
yeah, it's touching.
Well, there's no way that's the
Yeah,
see, that's not the right rendering.
Instead of 2 people at your trunk, you can have 4 people now. Shut up. That's dumb.
What's a normal parking spot, and how much bigger are theirs? That's what we need to know.
Exactly.
I would assume that tent should be a 1 parking spot tent, right? That's what I would have thought.
Uh-huh.
That tent was going over the line.
Yeah, eliminating the spot in the middle.
Yeah, how about that?
And I thought the detail of the Buffalo was not to take away from like this photo here, the actual stadium itself.
Yeah.
Not actually detail inside the Buffalo sculpture.
Because that wouldn't make sense. Because
remember they said there's no emotion in this thing.
On the other one, yeah.
On the video, they
Pat, you're
described
right.
the emotion in the face of the bison.
On the cool, massive one.
Your ice sculptor, was he like, man?
I want it to be a stoic-ass bison. Just get that thing, bison in the headlights.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I don't care. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right before the settlers.
16 feet is big, though, boys. Like, if you look at it.
No, it's not. Not compared to a stadium, it's not.
Yeah.
It's going to be dwarfed by that stadium.
Think about how massive.
How big is this stick? How big is this stick?
That's 6.
Compared to you,
5'5".
that stick is 6'2".
Not a baby. I'm in my cowboy boots. I'm staying in a nice 16.
Rap sheet ever hold on to that?
Rap sheet.
Right there.
We got to have a 25-foot tape measure here.
Rap sheet
he can see over that.
Rap
He
sheet,
sees over
no,
that.
he cannot.
No.
This thing is.
That's
He's
tall.
not even Al, the neighbor from Home Improvement.
Wilson.
He's not even the neighbor. We're talking.
Yeah.
He's not even playing peekaboo. He needs to start wearing cowboy boots immediately.
Yeah.
Irish
Or
shoes.
exactly. The De Niro lifts.
From
It's
De
only
Niro.
12 feet.
So that's not going to be enough. You see.
Well, neither are those parking spots because we just saw them. Hey, check it out. This sucks. It sounds like if you're a Buffalonian brother, maybe just have your eyes set on how cool the stadium's going to look, not the other stuff.